Before Ofurie was born, before love dared the gods, before a child refused to enter the world, a kingdom committed a crime so terrible the gods themselves never forgave it. One night, an entire royal bloodline was wiped out, and from that night, a curse was born. 27 years earlier, peace reigned in Iverede kingdom. King Origo James Okemute ruled with wisdom. He had 2 wives, 2 sons, one from each wife. And in the palace, there was no rivalry, no jealousy, no hatred. The 2 queens lived like sisters. The 2 princes were inseparable. They trained together, ate together, slept in the same chamber. The kingdom believed their unity would last forever.
But peace have never been an entertainment to the gods.
The king had grown weak with age. One evening, the chief priest summoned the royal family and a council of elders. Everyone believed the meeting concerns the king's health. They were wrong. The gods had spoken, the chief priest said. The first priest has been rejected by the gods. The young priest had been chosen to inherit the throne. The elders were confused. Tradition was clear. The firstborn must inherit the throne. The rejected prince family felt as though their world had collapsed. The chosen prince family struggled to hide their joy. But the king felt only one thing: terror, because he knew this decision would destroy his household. An elder inquired, "Wise one, what is the reason for this? Have the gods made a mistake?" The chief priest with hardened face, "The gods do not make mistakes." Then he spoke. Long ago, Queen Elo's great-grandfather had committed a terrible crime. After losing a dispute with his brother, he waited years. Then one night, he murdered his brother and his brother's wife. Why? Because he had once desired that woman and could not have her. The gods had never forgotten, and now they refused to allow that bloodline to sit upon the throne. And so it was. But after the revelation by the gods, a storm began to rise in the palace. The rejected prince's mother refused to accept fate. "Son, you will be king." "But how? The gods themselves have rejected me." She leaned closer. Her voice became ice. "Even the gods have loopholes, my son. If the chosen prince dies, there will be no one left in that lineage." The prince hesitated. Father's brother and his son, they are also eligible. Her reply was simple: "Then they must die too." That night, darkness swallowed the moon, and death walked through the palace. Prince Iverede was assassinated. His mother, his wife, his sisters, the king's brothers, his entire household. By morning, the street flowed with blood, and when a dying king heard the news, he took his final breath. That day, Iverede kingdom changed forever. And so, 1 week later, the rejected prince was crowned king, King Aziap Onu. But during the coronation, the gods spoke again. "Because of the covenant with your ancestors, the throne shall not leave their lineage, but because of the blood you have spilled, you will rule only until the son of Prince Iverede comes of age." Fear seized the new king. Could Iverede truly have a son? Then he remembered the woman Iverede once loved. Immediately, he ordered her death and the death of her unborn child. But 2 nights before the coronation, something supernatural had happened. Prince Iverede's ghost appeared to the pregnant woman, and he said to her, "After our son is born, take him far from this kingdom. Give him up for adoption. Let no one know where he comes from. Give him my middle name, Ofurie. And when his time comes, the gods themselves will bring him home." The assassins later returned to the king, claiming the mission was completed, but the mother and child had vanished. And from that day, King Aziap Onu lived in fear, because somewhere in the world, a boy was growing, a boy destined to return. Years passed. The kingdom forgot. The king grew old, and the hidden child grew into a man who would unknowingly marry his own cousin, fulfill the prophecy, and bring the God's judgment upon the throne. That man was Ofurie.